Our goal is biblical racial justice, biblical racial reconciliation, healing, and a kingdom unity underneath the teachings of Christ.
Well, before I came to the racial equality workshop, I was really apprehensive.
I anticipated the racial equity workshop today to be long and maybe boring, arduous.
I knew I was excited, but I did feel a little afraid that I was going to be dealing with maybe even political issues around race.
Well, in going to the racial equality workshop, I was hoping for what I got.
One of my big concerns really going into the racial equity workshop was really the stigma behind diversity and inclusion.
You know, I was so pleasantly surprised when I came to the racial equality workshop, hearing some of the topics that you hear about in our culture, about diversity and inclusion. I just didn't really know what to expect, and I was concerned that we wouldn't get a biblical approach. And I was so relieved that Derek and the team came in and gave a biblical perspective on how to think about races.
I think it's difficult sometimes for people to want to participate when they're afraid, when there's misunderstandings, when some of the things they've been taught, produce shame and confusion. And I can only get that as much as I can from my experience. And the thing that I loved about this is it's always good to hear both historical, perspectives and experiences of people that don't look like you, but also to add into that a strong scriptural perspective. And that's what I really feel like we got out of this.
I think what surprised me the most was we not only got good teaching on solutions, as important as that is, but also on the problems that face the country, but the church in particular. And I think thinking through those questions at a more deep level helps us apply the remedy in Scripture, which is a real remedy, but in a deeper and more holistic way. As a pastor, it was helpful to see people think about a topic that can be so polarizing in our world in a way that was Christ-like, because it was led in a really Christ-like manner. And so I came in expecting one thing, and I'm leaving very pleasantly surprised that no pat answers were given, but we were able to think through the problem at a really deep level. And I'm very thankful for that.
The workshop also brought a lot of harmony, because I've been on staff. This is about my 6th staff over the last 40 years, and it's been diverse. But this workshop added something and a dimension to our team, because we are a diverse team. We have Asian Americans, we have an African American, and others, and Hispanics. And so, this brought that kind of harmony and understanding where people feel like they've been heard, that you understand their history and what they've been through. So what Derek brings is a real necessary education, if you will, to a staff, whether it's a church staff or whether it's a corporate staff. And we all have to work together. We're a diverse nation, and biblically, we're a diverse kingdom. And so we have to be that kind of people. And so we need to start working on it now. And that's why I think this workshop is very much needed.
Thoughtful leaders in the church, ministries, and organizations are searching for a biblical approach to racial reconciliation, healing, and justice. Many are asking, how do we foster a culture of kingdom-prioritized ethnicity, equity, and unity? Others are just not sure what action to take regarding racial tension, injustice, and the confusion that is so prevalent in our national and local settings. Some have been asleep to the issue, hoping it would just vanish. Others are afraid to openly confront racism and injustice. However, there is an awakening, and many are now searching the Scriptures for answers. We would like to talk with you, pray with you, and guide your church or ministry to a biblical pathway forward. Use the contact information on the screen to schedule a free discovery call. We would love to hear from you.